This is the general outline where the future raised wooden walkway is going to be at the back of the house. This outline gives you an idea. And this is the main platform coming off the steps. Okay, I showed you earlier this video of where this platform here is going to have all these steps and wooden walkways extending from about here down to the end. It's going to be around 29-30 feet. We've also decided that we're going to bring the platform come out even here. So all these pavers that were put in, we are going to take them out. This led logically to the discussion with my wife and I of an extension of this part of the deck coming out this way, which will match height-wise with platform out there. The question is whether we're going to come out 6 feet or 5 feet. That's not decided as yet. And you'll notice I'm leaving a lane between my rock wall and this wooden platform. That's going to allow me to come in and out with a wheelbarrow without any problem. All the blocks have been removed. I'm looking at the wood that was by the blocks, and I'm going to have to double check it to see whether it's still good. Might have to pull up some of these and put something new in. You can see right there, looks like we got a little rot going on. This is what happens when you do demo of outside stuff. So it's obvious to me, you're looking at that, that's crap, that's rot. What I'm going to replace this rotted stuff with. When you look on the other side, similar situation, rotted, not good. So anyway, this is coming off. I'm going to get a new piece of decking board. Getting rid of that one. Getting rid of that one. Well, we talked about earlier how I'm leaving a gap here between my rock wall and what'll be the edge of the extended lower step. I'm going to put more Chapel Hill gravel going in along here in somewhat of a level pathway going down. I wanted to mention before I forget it, the reason I am tackling this huge project myself is because we had 2 different companies come out and give us quotes for bringing out this platform, and then the 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes down there with decking and whatnot. And the guy was going to install a French drain running here, yada yada yada. I won't give you the exact price that the guy said, but he sent me a text with his plan. It was going to be well over $10,000. Oh, what? So I said, thanks, we'll think about it. The first crew that came out and did all the measurements and stuff, they never gotten back in touch with us. I mean, I don't even know what was going on there. But somebody wanted to charge me over $10,000 to do this. Hello, it's quite the impetus to do it yourself. I've removed the rotten facing board on this side, and I've removed it on this side. And we've got a pretty nice, what looks like 2x10, 2x8, I'm not sure. But I went ahead and cleaned it up real good. And I have sprayed it with some sealant spray paint to lengthen the lifespan on this wood that'll be underneath the extended deck. Good morning, everyone. This is Source Codex here on this fine Thursday morning. But I have added a 105-inch facing board, and I have 2 more boards to. Well, I've got my last facing board put in. Just needs a few more nails and screws and whatnot. All right, we'll tune back in a little bit later. Have an aside here, a quick discussion of some logistics you might face should you want to put in a floating deck, platforms, and then, wooden walkway, stairs going somewhere on your property. There's going to be a whole lot of treated lumber. Down to the nitty-gritty, what are you going to do for putting it all together? I mean, are you going to use a hammer? If you are, I recommend these ringed deck nails. You see the nails have ridges going around them. That prevents the nail from eventually slipping out, popping out, like nails are known to do with wood expanding and contracting and all that good stuff. Something else I really like, which I use a lot, are these Power Pro Premium wood screws that come with their own bit, 10 by 2.5 inches. These guys do a great job. Now, you may be somebody who owns a nail gun, and that's an idea. As you can see here, with all this area here, and then this area here, and then these several boxes being covered with landscape timber, that's going to be a lot of nailing. So if you have a nail gun, which I thought for about 5 seconds, should I get one? That might work too. But for me, I kind of don't recommend it. Nail guns are maybe great for interior stuff that stays at a certain temperature, but with wood expanding, contracting, different weather conditions, I don't know that a nail gun's all that great. If you disagree with me, go ahead and let me know. But in this deck out here, I've checked these out before when I had to replace these boards. These are just regular nails. They are not nail gun nails. And it's a lot of labor. But you know what? It's the satisfaction of getting it done. No matter how much labor it might be, once you put these nails in, and I may need to buy more, and once you put these Power Pro screws in, they're not going anywhere. And you're not going to have to worry about the elements of weather. And walking on something, then stepping up, stepping down, that whole mechanical whatnot, those screws or these ring nails, your mess is going to stay where you put it, short of a tornado or hurricane. Okay, that's all I got to say about that. Let me get back to it. Finished all the facing. I put the original painted board back. And here's our new unpainted board, which will be seasoning before it is painted. This was just prep work to get started on the big project. I went to my local Lowe's and I bought the wood I'm going to need to do the first section. Walk it off. Goes out to here, then up to here, then takes a jog here, and then the edge of the platform runs right up to there. So that's going to be the support, the 2x6, and then I've got the decking wood. Today, in the middle of quite a thunderstorm, I went and got the lumber I'm going to need to do the 4 stairs going down to there. I've decided to try and buy up all my hardware and all my lumber and have it here ready to go, just in case there's some unforeseen event like what happened during COVID where all the building supplies skyrocketed. I'm going to buy them now at this price, and I'll be set without any surprises. Final trip, I believe, as far as buying lumber for this huge backyard project. We're looking at a lot of lumber here. Still, this is lumber for here, as I talked about earlier. Still, with all this lumber and all that lumber up there for this platform and the second platform, these being for the stair boxes, I'm still under $1,000. So that's really good, considering the quote I got. As I may have mentioned earlier, some guy wanted to charge me 18 grand to build all this. I don't think so. You a sense of the height of how much we're going to be raising things. There's a couple 2x6s and 3 pieces of decking. Nice. Yeah, good morning, everyone. As you can see, I took down my temporary platform 1 setup that I put up just to see how it would look. Did some measurements and whatnot, and remarked the area it's going to be in. This point here, from here up to the bottom of platform 1, the highest point off the ground, is going to be right at 7 inches. Now I've put down this burlap here for when I'm digging out the Chapel Hill gravel for platform 2. I'll be filling up the wheelbarrow as I dig this out. And again, I marked off the dimensions better so I knew where to dig, and I already know how deep to dig. It's going to be about 6 inches down. Now also today, to finish out getting supplies, I went to Lowe's and picked up 25 bags of this drainage rock gravel. This gravel is to go in a swale that I'm going to be digging. The swale is going to start pretty much right here. It's going to go past the wheelbarrow. It's going to take a turn this way and go all the way to the very end of my wooden stairs walkway. So that's going to be about a 40-foot run total, about a foot wide, and probably around 3 to 5 inches deep. So Lowe's has got a nice calculator on their website where you can punch in numbers like that and it'll tell you how many cubic feet you're gonna need and how many bags you're gonna need. Well, my pile of Chapel Hill gravel is increasing, obviously, and today I have widened the section that needs to be removed for the floating deck to go in. And in anticipation of needing it, I went ahead and bought this 8x8 tamper from Lowe's. Pretty decent price. To go ahead and mark where the center of the swale is going to be. This is about where it was in the past, and it worked well. This will be going under the platform 1 floating deck, and then underneath, a little bit of a curve underneath the stairs, the boxes for the stairs. I'm going to have to remove a few roots, which is not a big deal. They're all coming from this giant pine tree, and trust me, as old as it is, it's got a bazillion roots radiating everywhere around it, so it's not going to miss 2 or 3 roots. So there you have it. This will give me a guideline for putting my swale in, and then we'll do a test with once this is all dug out here, I'll run some water out of the hose and see how the swale does. My guess is it'll do just fine. Good morning, everyone. We're back at it. As you can see, I've marked the width of the swale, and as I go down, I'm going to encounter some roots that I need to trim up. So I've got tools that I'll be using. I highly recommend, if you don't have one, a Sawzall with a pruning blade does a great job. And these little handheld chainsaws, they come in really handy as well too. Try not to get that in the dirt so much. Once your root is exposed above ground, you can slice right through it. And if you have any nagging issues, a good old grunt method with a hand axe and a mattock should take care of the job. It has taken me right at an hour to clear roots out here for the swale. That's to be pitched. And then we had a pretty long area of roots that had to be removed. And there they are. And then the third area, this was a piece of cake, just one big root to cut. And it actually folded way back in the ground when I lifted it up, so I cut it off there. And then this one here is ready for the swale. Time to clean up these roots. Well, I finished cutting the roots out this morning. So after lunch, I decided to put in the swale, roughed in. No gravel right now. Just straight up dirt on a slope. So it's time to give her the test. See how she does. Okay. Let's see how she does. So good so far. A little bit of pooling there, not too bad. Not much slope here, so it's not moving too fast, but it is going downhill, which is what I want. So here it comes. We got a little bit of pooling up there, which I can totally fix. A little bit of pooling here, but not too bad. Then it picks up again. And you don't need a big slope, because then you got water rushing and causing erosion. Just enough slope to get it from one place to the next is really all you're looking for. And a little pooling right at the end, which can be easily fixed. And eventually, water itself will get rid of a pooling problem. It's flowing pretty good. Yep, I'm liking that. And we'll put the gravel in later on. Let's turn the flow down a little bit here. Eventually all this is going to be covered by these stairs, the wooden walkway. This is not bad at all. And if you have a problem anywhere around your house, you're trying to get water away from your house and you want to put in a drainage ditch or whatever, this is how you test it to make sure it's working. I'm getting the idea how this is going to work. And the flow is pretty sure. And while I was looking at the other end, it has definitely taken off and is running just like it did last time I checked this length. So the flow looks good. Alright, we have started the dispersing of bags of gravel along the swale, I set up an impromptu bridge to get across the swale to get the wheelbarrow down that hill. I'm not quite done getting them all out, but I am quite done. I've been for today putting gravel in the swale. So far, that is 3 bags worth. And I used the tamper here to get this nice level compacted look to the swale. Got about, I'd say 90% of this swale done. It's not level, sort of a gentle dip, and that's all you need. If I did it level, it's just going to be a waste because this is all going to be covered with stairs. So in this gentle swale, I wanted to see if she's still working, and she obviously have finished putting the gravel in. So let's have a look-see at how well it is draining all the way at the very end of things. It always takes a little while for the water to show up from all the way up there. And here comes the water beating up at the very end of the line. And there it goes, running over this last oak tree. Okay, I've cleared out the area for floating deck 2, and I wanted to check how level it is. And it is off, meaning this end here is just a little higher than that is there. Morning, everyone. Seeing as my floating decks are only going to be 6 inches off the ground, I had some options that I wanted to look at. I did not choose the concrete deck blocks. Just looked at them, thought about how heavy they were, how I'm probably going to have to sink them in the ground. So I decided against that. The other popper one is the tough block, which you can buy at various places. It's lower profile, sits right on the ground or whatever foundation you have, and your deck can sit right on it. And you can pick it up at Lowe's, probably the cheapest price. Amazon's kind of high. Now, if you go to Home Depot, they've got this thing called the camo block, heavy duties. And I decided to go with them because with the lower price of the camo versus the tough block supports. So, considering I'm going to be using them, I have some new ideas. I ran some water for a while to see how it flowed down the swale, and there was no backup of water. The water went right under this block, no problem. Same thing here for stair box 2, went right under that paver block. And the same thing here, no problem for stair box number 3. And the last stair, you can see the water has flowed through here and gone right under that paver box and has continued out. So these pavers will be good supports to sit under the stair box. to firm it up. So I think this will work out just fine. And now camo blocks are going to be sat about this far out. So this will work out good. And if I wind up having a paver that's got to go here, well, I'll figure, or a camo that's got to go here, well, I'll figure out what I'm going to do. Yesterday I had a long talk with a builder friend of mine, and he told me about all the codes and everything that you have to consider. And when you're putting a floating deck out, as long as it's not over 30 inches tall, as long as it's not over 200 square feet, and as long as it's not attached to the house, and as long as it's not in front of an egress door, you don't need a permit. You can just build the sucker and you're okay. And there was some question about, can I attach a new floating deck to an existing deck? Is there going to be a problem there? No, no problem. Well, I have dug out what is pretty much a level grade for floating deck 2, platform 2. I took it out 6'5", which would be enough. As far as level goes, let's see how close I am. Pretty close, pretty close. I'm happy with that, at least for today, for right now. As far as this area here, I'm going to be putting in the camo blocks going this way, and I'm going to put them down in the ground a little bit with paver base under them, and they already have a offset height, lifting the boards you put in them by about 2 inches off the ground. So when I'm putting in these camo blocks along here, even though this ground here is not real level, once I get the ground somewhat level, a lot's going to be determined by the height of the camo blocks as they're set in the ground.